What up everyone, it's your man XMan87 here, bringing you another Marvel Legends news video on what I have for you today. Today's episode will be talking about the Haslab GiantMan teaser. Before we get into everything, if you could please leave a thumbs up, like rating on the video, it'll help show your support for my channel and I greatly appreciate it. Now with that said, let's talk about it. I wanted to talk about this yesterday, but I couldn't as I was sick all day because my damn disease decided to flare up, and then I was working on the top 10 Marvel Legends villains wish list I want to see revealed for PostCon, and all of a sudden my microphone broke and I lost all that, and yeah, I was just pissed, man. I had to buy a new microphone. Luckily I got a good Labor Day deal on it, but yeah, I was just pissed off about that. So now I got to record all that over again because I wanted that set for tomorrow before the Haslab reveal. So I don't know, hopefully the weekend. I just want to give you the heads up on that, and we're gonna talk about this teaser promo pic. Thankfully, I'm feeling better so we could talk about it, because lots of fun topics here that we can discuss about a Haslab GiantMan. If Hasbro decides to go all out, they can possibly give us their best Legends Haslab yet, as this has probably the biggest potential for a variety of tiers, to the point that it can include the most tiers out of any Haslab put out, and we can go over what those possibilities may be. Continuing the 7-part series of pictures they are releasing to build up towards the reveal, picture 4 was unveiled to be a giant silhouette. This is all GiantMan right here. It's pretty obvious from the start it was always going to be GiantMan. Going all the way back to the March fan stream of the first teaser, they said it would be Comic Avengers related in commemoration of the 60th anniversary. They laid out the red carpet for us already with him. I know some collectors said a Quinjet or Avengers Mansion as possibilities, but let's be real. After the failed EOV, it's not a smart idea to go back to a vehicle for the same price or higher, or attempt a diorama that wouldn't be nowhere near as popular as the likes of a Danger Room and or a Hall of Armor. I know I sound like a broken record because I've repeated myself saying it multiple times discussing this Haslab GiantMan topic, but they needed to go back to their roots in what made their Haslab successful, with big, gigantic characters, and that's just the honest truth. This silhouette has me excited. GiantMan is one of my all-time favorite Avengers, so I'm down for it and backing day one. He looks gigantic, as he should be, but I'm just wondering how tall he's going to be. Like I said before, 20 inches is a good height, but I wouldn't mind him at 24 inches, making him an even 2 feet tall, which it looks like what he may measure up by going off of scale in this picture. So not taller than Galactus and the Sentinel, but still making him stand out. That's fine with me. I wonder if the base offering will just be him alone or include multiple figures of him to complete a growing effect for a nice still motion display. If not, maybe an alternate unmasked Pym head to fit that body. Alternate hands are needed for sure. I'm not sure how articulated fingers would look on a dude with tights. Aesthetically, it looks better on a robotic looking body like the Sentinel and Galactus. Should he have articulated toes? I would say no for balance purposes, but yes to double diaphragm and butterfly joints. I definitely want him to be more flexible than the Sentinel and Galactus. Maybe include a classic Wasp and a first appearance Iron Man in gold in that base offering too. So, you know, that'll get some more classic Avengers if the likes of a classic Wasp is not a tier. Just some things to think about the base offering. But speaking of tiers, like I said before, this has the biggest potential for tier options. So let's go over what those tiers could look like, and I've got about over 10 of them written down. No particular order, I'm just gonna go through them. So the first one I got is Hank Pym with a lab coat over the costume and a removable helmet. Just like they did with the 3-4 inch line, we should get this kind of classic Ant-Man for our display. A soft goods lab coat would be ideal. I don't want the swappable arms and coat like they did with the retro Reed Richards. If they do, hopefully the arms don't look lanky on him, but the removable helmet with a few new lab accessories like pin particles, or even including an Ant-Man arrow accessory for Hawkeye would make for a nice display. Number 2, Yellow Jacket. This will probably be the one that's the meter mover for tier sales hitting their goals. Yellow Jacket has been so highly demanded over the years to get an update that I know many will jump on this, and he makes the most sense to lock behind this project out of all Hank Pym's personas. If they bring back the early bird special, I can see him being the one to get this project to fund within the time needed. Hopefully he'll include an asshole looking Hank Pym alt head to fit this specific persona. Number 3, an oversized deluxe Goliath figure, my most wanted tier. That classic blue and yellow means so much to me, and it's my favorite Goliath look. He could be the one tier that can be 12 plus inches tall, or be part of the base offer if they want to justify a price of having 2 big figures in a base offering, and this can apply to any of those bigger characters that would need to be this size that I'll mention later on. This, I feel, is the biggest must for me. Number 4, Pym Ultron. This would be a sick offer and one that I know will require all new tooling. Pym as Ultron was a badass and just looks like he would make for an awesome figure. Number 5, an unmasked GiantMan head. If this is not an alternate head in the base offering, it could be a tier. It should be in the base offering, but I'm just listing it as a tier potential. Number 6, a Skrull alternate head. The better alternate head option would be a Skrull head. It would make for some more fun if they can give us alternate Skrull heads for our Avengers. I'd love to have an all Skrulls Avengers team. Yeah, I know it won't match the same costume as the Secret Invasion one, which they did a figure of in the Marvel Universe line, and that was a 12-inch plus figure. Still a good figure, just needs better ankle articulation. But you know how Hasbro likes to always add heads that don't go with costumes just for fun, so it wouldn't surprise me. I'll make that exception here, and I'll still welcome it just for this. Number 7, Classic Wasp. This is another must. Again, should be base offer, but just listing it as a tier potential. Her classic look is essential for a complete Classic Avengers lineup. Don't know if she would be a big meter mover for tiers, as the character has always seemed to be a peg warmer in regular waves, so maybe it's best to do this version by including it in the base offering. Number 8, Clint Barton Goliath. I was never a fan of the Clint Barton Goliath character. I want this project to stick with the Hank Pym personas personally, but I would welcome it. I'm just here to lay out the possible options, putting my personal preferences aside. Number 9, Bill Foster Goliath, the other Goliath that I know some collectors have asked for. The Marvel Universe version with the David Vonner head sculpt was a great one. We need an update with the modernized POA that one didn't have, and overall, it would be a good choice. Number 10, Hank Pym as Wasp. Another Hank Pym persona they can add that you may not know about is when he took up the Wasp moniker. Not a popular one and not one I want to see here, but again, just an option. Number 11, a flying giant ant for Pym as a vehicle. They did something like this for the first movie Ant-Man figure for their 4-inch line, and this would be a fun option for your Ant-Man to have a big ant to ride on. Also, having a little army of ants swarming the opponents as like maybe attachables would make for a really cool effect. Number 12, the growing effect. Like I mentioned, my ideal base offering to create a really cool still motion display. This would be way too much as a tier, which makes more sense as a base offering, but the possibility is there. For number 13, I have the other giant personas. So there's Raz Malhotra, which was the GiantMan for the more modern Avengers, Avengers Academy, I believe it was. And then Atlas of the Thunderbolts. GiantMan has like his own secret in-house giant verse that spans beyond Pym. So if they don't keep it to strictly Hank Pym's personas, then we can get more characters. I feel like a 12 plus inch figure will be featured in this project somehow, and Atlas would be a great choice, as many, including myself, will want to complete that 90s Thunderbolts team. Then lastly, I have at 15, the Ultimate Giant Man. If this costume doesn't show up as a tier in this project, then I see him getting the Super Adaptoid / Searcher treatment and being an oversized deluxe at 12 to 13 inches, somewhere around there. They restarted the Ultimates Avengers team with Ultimates Cap this year. How can they not do this version of Giant Man to round out that team? Well, I mean, it's Legends, so they may not, since they never finish majority of the teams they start. But we will see how they plan to put this version out. So I just mentioned about 15 possible tiers. That's why I said this has the biggest potential for tiers. They can seriously make this project to include the most tiers. Normally tiers are set to 3, but with all those possibilities I mentioned, they could literally do a 6-tier set. 7 if they do an early bird special, and we can leave with 7 bonus items if all goals are met. Not saying this is going to happen, just pointing out the potential of what could be. I do have my concerns, and I'll go over a few of them, and one of my concerns is the price. This is something that is not like a Sentinel or Galactus being multi-layered with crazy amounts of aesthetics. We are talking about a dude in plain red tights. The only aesthetics that should be sculpted are the simple designs on his torso, gloves, and boots. And the mask, obviously. But that's it. That shouldn't be a $400 cost like the last 2 successful Legends Haslabs. I said the only way I see it being that price is if they give us a giant 2-pack of Giant Man and Goliath together, with Giant Man being 20-ish inches and having Goliath between 13 to 16 inches. After the Haslab EOV failure, stay away from the $350 price tag and keep it between $200 to $250. My next concern is Giant Man popular enough to carry a Haslab to success? In my opinion, I believe so, but I know I've heard some people who don't care for that character at all. So that may raise some concerns, but I think because it's a classic take on a character, I think there are more people that do like the character, and that will outweigh those that, don't care for it. There are some new collectors that want a chance at getting a classic Giant Man, but also there's old Marvel Legends collectors that I know that didn't get the Marvel Legends Toy Biz Giant Man Build-A-Figure because it was a Walmart exclusive at the time, and it was hard to get a lot of those figures. So since Hasbro took over Toy Biz, I know I've heard a lot more collectors clamoring for Hasbro to update a classic version, as they've done other versions of Giant Man besides his classic look. Whether you like the character or not, hey, to each their own, but you can't deny he is essential to complete the Avengers team. The classic comic Avengers team, that is. And that is the centric focus for the Avengers 60th anniversary program, is they are completing that classic team. One major concern I have is the tiers need to stop being hidden. Reveal all the tiers so we know what we are getting ahead before giving our wallets. It's a terrible structure how Hasbro does it, not being the true Kickstarter way. So they need to be transparent. Another concern is getting another Doomhead treatment. Haha, yes, the dreadful Doomhead tier that no one asked for in Galactus. But, that was Jesse Falcon's idea, and he's all about doing the modern figures. Everything has to have a modernized inclusion with him. That's just his mentality in the position he's in when he orders the team to do modern this and modern that. Damn, I like Jesse Falcon, and I'm thankful for everything he's done in the industry, but that kind of mentality drags the line down a bit. Just take a look at that riot from the Venom 3-pack. That was his idea. Majority of the community hated it. I just hope the Doomhead treatment here isn't Raz. I don't like that character at all. I know some fans think he's smart, others think he's a dumbass, and yeah, he's just goofy to me, and I never took him serious. Not a fan of him at all, but if there's gonna be a Doomhead treatment, then I can see him being the one. Just know I'm not knocking anyone who likes that Doomhead or the Raz character. I won't ever do that. If it's for you, then I'm happy for you. To each their own. It could be worse and we could get the cardboard treatment like the Haslab Rancor. Damn, if they put cutout cardboard diorama buildings as tiers, that will not fly well with the fans. Keep that for a packaging perk and not involved in the tiers. And my biggest, most major concern more than anything is a divide in the community. Surely Haslabs bring out the toxicity that the worst in the community thrive off of. I saw how the divisiveness pushed over the edge during the EOV. So as I'm covering this, let's just not bash each other. Bash the products, but not each other. I'll never understand the concept of someone hating me for a character that I like or something that I intrinsically enjoy. I already got attacked for liking the GiantMan character. Like, what? They must not know me, and I don't have to explain why I love the character as I explained it in the past. But I'm not here for the bullshit. Not this time. If you attack me for my opinion while I cover this, then you're just getting blocked. That's gonna touch a nerve for those blocked that can still watch my video but can't comment, as they are craving for my attention and everyone else's to read theirs. They'll be more than welcome to talk shit about me elsewhere on whatever platform, but I don't give a shit what they say, because at the end of the day, a lion doesn't concern himself with sheep. Not having that sort of BS on my channel, so we can do better. As a community, we need to do better and take care of one another. Life is too damn short to be pissed off all the time. Look, I said I'm gonna back it day one, but even if I decide not to, if I'm not happy with the offering, or back out if I do back it, if something is not right, I'm going to call out the bullshit to hold Hasbro accountable. Plain and simple. And hey, if it doesn't fun, I'm not going to sweat it. You know why? Because I have the Toy Biz GiantMan bath, and I'm more than content with it if that's the only Marvel Legends GiantMan figure I'll have for the rest of my life. It's still one of the greatest Marvel Legends figure of all time, because for the longest time, that's been my favorite Marvel Legends figure until like the Haslab Sentinel or Galactus came out. I know it's time for an update to fit in with our current modern Hasbro Legends figures, so let's all hope they deliver on all fronts. Anyways, with that out of the way, pick 4 is a nice teaser, and pick 5 should be the full reveal. I thought they would have the full reveal on page 7, as that's the last page. So I wonder what will be in page 6 and 7. Maybe that'll be some of the tiers included in those picks, and that's how we'll get those reveals. I don't know. The reveal will happen this Friday, September 8th, the day after the Haslab Star Wars Vintage Series Ghost wraps up. By the way, who here is backing this thing? I want to so bad, as Star Wars Rebels is my favorite piece of Star Wars content ever. That and the whole Clone Saga animated universe that Dave Filoni created. Oh man, I just love it, but man, I just can't. I stopped collecting the 4-inch Star Wars figures somewhere between 2009 to 2011. So, looks like it'll unlock all tiers by tonight. $500 is not bad for all this, in my opinion. Hell, I would have taken a Legends GiantMan with a Quinjet bundle for $500. That would have been a fair price, in my opinion. $200 for a 20-ish inch figure and $300 for the vehicle as a breakdown, or however you want to break it down. I think people would have been down to fund that campaign to 100%, a GiantMan Quinjet combo. That would be crazy. They reveal pick 6 with a Quinjet flying over GiantMan from page 5. Not gonna happen, but let's just keep it simple. Again, Legends needs to bounce back from that EOV failure, so it's best they keep a friendly price that was lower than that. But maybe as a future tease, wouldn't hurt to create some buzz if something like that showed up in one of the picks. Anyways, I'm out of here. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Therefore, now I kick it back to you. How tall do you think GiantMan will be? What tiers did I mention that you would like to see done for this Haslab GiantMan campaign? Or maybe something that I didn't mention. Comment below, let me know. We'll chat about it. Thanks for watching today's video. Please follow me on Instagram if you haven't already at xman87. Hit the notification bell so you always know when my latest videos are up. Share and subscribe if you're new. See you on the next video. Peace, peace.